born day. Is there a correlation there?
I missed it again.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Born
What's
day.
the last word you saying?
In their born day, birthstone, and born day, is there birth anniversary and their birthstone? Is there a correlation?
Oh, no, I'm not into that kind of analogy that deeply, except I can resonate and let you know that each one of us has a color vibration, and that when we come into this planet from our source, divine source, we do vibrate with specific colors and specific tones, musical tones. So it's color and tone, everything is combined in one unit, unidad. I'm sorry, that's in Spanish, but that's a unit. And you come in with music, and you come in with a tone, and you come in with a color. And that is a healing. Once you can find your color tone, let's put it that way, and your musical tone, then you can automatically access your healing. And that goes for every single one of us. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we would all receive our names written on a stone. Now, he never told us what that stone was or who was giving us this stone, but stones and crystals and jewels, all of that is not luxury items. They're actually harmonics that talk to us, like talking stones, like the native traditions. They talk to these stones, and these stones vibrate and give them information. So we have lost, as we said, our original connection to divine. And so we must find our way back home to divine, and we must step outside of this present world that is completely breaking down. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who dictated to me, I believe, one of his last articles here in Mexico, and the article was the breaking up of the old world and the coming in of the new. So basically, he said 3/4 of his teaching that he received from Master Farad Muhammad was not on this world at all. It was outside of this world. It was from another source, another divinity, another divine origin. Okay? So we haven't begun to touch on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have not skimmed the surface. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Next one, real quick. Yes, right.
Vivian, I wanted to know if you had heard of a man named Raymond Rife, who back in the early 1920s invented a microscope that would use quartz crystal, and he basically discovered that each disease had a frequency color, and he used sound in order to resonate with the frequency of that disease and basically destroy it without harming the body. His research and everything else that had to do with him was buried by the medical association, etc.
She's already answering you, dear sister.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Go ahead. Hmm?
Yes, I think I have, yes. But here's something even deeper.
Yes, ma'am.
Their knowledge is based upon the ancient Hermetic laws of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know the work of the lost keys of Kemet, also retrieved from the ancient Egyptians, all of the civilization of the Western world, their academician is based upon their understanding of the monuments in Egypt, of their understanding of the Great Pyramid, their understanding of what the founding mechanism of the Great King's Chamber. And if you strike that granite tomb, open tomb or coffin, it vibrates certain mechanics of sound like crystal, because granite has crystal in it, and also limestone. All of the materials that were put into the structures of these monuments have a relationship, as I said, to the sun, and the sun radiates down and so it's part and parcel of crystal compact energy. So, yes, I understand the concept of the principles that you're referring to and the gentleman that you're referring to, but I want us to go all the way back to the original teaching that goes all the way back to Arabia, that goes all the way back to the original cities that we built that are buried beneath the sands there in Saudi Arabia. So all that we see of this world is breaking up.
Yes.
We have a deep, deep root in ancient civilizations, out of which they borrowed or have contrived in order to make it look like they are some authority. See? Yes. And so what they're doing is bringing back to us the memory to remember. Yes, to remember what we already know. That we have these gifts, and healing is within us, the power.
Thank you.
Okay.
Assalamu
Alaikum.
Yes, I would like to assalamu alaikum to Mother Tynetta, and also I would like to thank her for her study. I think a lot for you. As I was looking and having these experiences myself, in searching for knowledge, I started to read your articles.
I don't know.
Okay.
Who
Can you hear me?
Could you state your name? Who you are?
I'm Sister Sharita in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to give Mother Tynetta the greetings of Assalamu alaikum, and also to bear witness to what she was sharing in regards to the tuning in. I know that I've had personal experiences of my own, and in search of knowledge, I began to read and study her articles on tuning in. And I read what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had shared with her, and by Allah's permission, followed step by step. And one day, I was at a radio interview with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I had done what Mother Tynetta had shared with us in an article for like months. And so I was there at the Rock Newman interview with the minister, and so I was trying to tune in, and what I noticed was that it would come and it would go. I would get a strong sense, and then it would get weaker. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, after I was in my chair trying to tune into him, and after the interview, he came over and he said, gave me the greetings, and he said, "How are you doing, my sister?" But I was so kind of like caught up in that, thinking he really heard me. He really heard me. And then, I don't know, I'll play, I still gave the minister the greetings back, but it does work. And what I found, and the reason I said that, is because of the experiences that I've been having. I've been asking questions, but I found the answers in Mother Tynetta's articles. And I thank you so much, Mother Tynetta, and I thank Allah for you, beloved.
Well, thank you.
And I wanted to say this. Praise be to Allah, man. I wanted to say, when you ended the things that we forgot, knowledge that we forgot, and how you could speak on this, please, ma'am, how we get glimpses. And one of the things for me, I just had to accept it and believe that this is a part of me. This is who we are, that we do have these abilities. And so what I'm noticing is, as I'm learning to accept it, they're coming in stronger, and again, having different experiences.
They will continue. You listen to the small voice of God within. That is Allah. The more we concentrate on Allah, the more we will be able to hear Him, and nothing will interfere with that. And we will return to us all of our special gifts that we have automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I can take maybe one more question.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Oh, wow, there's so many.
Yes.
Right.
Wait a minute, before anybody says anything, I just want to this is Medea, Mom.
Fine. Yay. We called your name.
Well, I'm just letting you know I'm on the line. I'm supporting you and Rasul. So I know I could have you any day, but these people online, they can't have you like I do. So I'm going to let them go ahead and do what they need to do. And they do need to know that you don't feel good, so,
Yes.
they need to rush it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am.
My sweet little Zola, and also all of my grandbabies, and I'm the Gigi too, right?
That means great-grandmama.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, darling. Love you.
Love you too, Mom.
Assalamu alaikum, Mother Tynetta.
Yes, sir.
What
Who was that?
Yeah, this is Brother Gary. Assalamu alaikum, Mother Tynetta.
Gary from...
This is Brother Gary Muhammad. I had a question that I wanted to ask you. Some of us in the Nation of Islam have been receiving direct telepathic communications from Master Farad Muhammad, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and many of the other angels or masters from the many different lodges on the planet and throughout the cosmos. And I wanted to ask you, have you and many others that you might know have had contact, telepathic contact, with Master Farad Muhammad? I pose this question because many in the Nation of Islam doubt the ability of Master Farad Muhammad to telepathically communicate with the followers of the Honorable Mustafa Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I wanted to ask you that question, Mom. Thank you.
You wanted to ask specifically, you want me to answer which part?
Any part that you would love to answer. Any part.
Yes. Well, let me put it this way. Oftentimes, when we have experiences, or let us say contacts, like that, it is very good for us to reserve that information until there is a certain signal or a certain time that we are given to divulge or to share it in depth. Otherwise, we may find that there will be people who will not understand the completion of what we are actually saying. So it is important to study along with the masses, simple steps, very simple steps, like I have explained, very simple things. Not that I myself personally have this contacts going on. I may have these contacts going on, but I'm not divulging that I have these contacts or there are stations of scientists, around the planet that I'm in contact with, because it's not safe to do so. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a brother, asked him during Theology of Time. He asked him. He said, "We understand that there are angels here in the country," and so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the brother. He said, "Yes." He said, "But if I were to point them out to you, they can be killed." See? So there's big responsibility in having certain kinds of knowledge and how much of that knowledge we're able to share at a certain particular moment in time, so that people don't have to be, they don't have to be warned or secured that the Savior can do this, that he can tune in, and that we have scientists and that many of us may be brilliant enough to be able to pick up on those communications. But the question is it safe to do so? Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. I am following every single word, Mom. I love you. Yes, I am.
Yeah, so we don't want to make a conversation or point out to people around us that have not had those kinds of experiences, information that may confuse them until it becomes a part of the continual evolution of our mental capacity to understand it in mass.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mom. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Mom. I think you went longer than you planned to,
Yes,
I know.
Yes.
And
you hear my voice being frothy, right?
Yeah. And I don't want this to wear you out. As I'm listening to you, and of course I'm right here with you, but I remember the words of Imam Warithuddin Muhammad at Mosque Mariam the last time.
Assalamualaikum.
Oh,
sorry.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Excuse me. We're done with the questions. Thank you so very much.
I just wanted to thank you. This is Sister Ava.
We're done with the questions.
Dear sister, one moment, please.
Dear sister.
We'll try to have part two. Just let her know.
We're done with the questions.
We'll try to have another part two.
Yes.
Another time.
I know. Yes. We're done with that right now. Please, no one interrupt at this point.
I'm sorry, it's Sister Ava. I was just trying to give the greetings. I'm sorry.
Sister Ava.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
We will make an exception for you.
Ava Muhammad.
Ava Muhammad. That's Sister Ava.
I know I sound a little frothy, Sister Ava. I'm losing my voice.
Well, you know what? I just wanted to say real quick, I thank Allah for Brother Rasul and this program, and I thank Allah so much for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Messiah, the Christ, that through you, in a very unique and incredible way, is restoring us to our original selves. And I just want to publicly, Mother Tynetta, thank you for the articles in the Final Call newspaper. And I pray to Allah that the believers and all members of the Lost Foundation of Islam in the West, registered and unregistered, under the leadership of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, can appreciate the priceless jewels that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has deposited in you, and that you are so generous in sharing. And I thank you, Brother Student Minister Rasul, a wonderful teacher in your own right, for doing this. Brother Wahid just sent me a text, and I saw it, and I just think a lot. I caught it. The little bit I've been able to hear, I'm already empowered. Every time I read your words, I am empowered. I know this is real, this is nothing spooky, and I pray that this will be a regular program. I like Brother Rasul said, we don't want to tax you, but I miss hearing your voice, and thank you both. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
That's beautiful.
Thank you very much, Sister Ava.
We're going to be reaching out for you, Sister Ava, because I really wanted to be able to interview you also on this show. And me and my mother, we listen to you when you're speaking on the webcast and everything.
When she fires up
That's right. And you know, but I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to flatter you. It's not you just fire up. No, you're one of the most articulate, if not the most articulate, people we have in the ministry, in the Nation of Islam, that brings fact, information, education, and spirituality all packed in one. And I've been talking for a while now that I want to interview you and bring you on and just, you just express whatever Allah has put on your mind and in your heart. My real attempt, this call, this chat line we call it, is really always under the theme of healing in some way, and in addition to healing, to bring clarity and to upgrade where I think many of are probably experiencing an intellectual arrested development. So we're going to get in touch with you, Sister Ava, and I feel very honored to have you on the line.
Yes,
Thank you. But I got to give my mom a break. So thanks, Mom, for coming on. And I think you did. You did okay. I mean, But we will have you back. Maybe even next Saturday, if you're able, okay?
Yes.
But as often as you like, and you got carte blanche, because it is your son's show, so you should be able to come on here,
Yes, well, all of you are like little Allahs, okay?
Praise
Thank
be
you,
to
Mother.
Allah.
That's it, little Allahs. May Allah be
Thank you so much, Mother Tynetta.
But
Love you.
really thank
you. We love
everybody.
you.
There are people that are trying to, they know they got a lot of questions, and many of them just want to say they love you. And so I'm going to say it for them.
Thank you.
The sentiment is there. They love you. And I know that also, Ma, if you just come on, you know, even if you didn't say anything, the love from the people that call in on this chat line is so powerful, I'm telling you, it could heal anything.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Thank you.
thank you. So, Mom,
Thank
just
you,
whatever
Mother.
you'd like.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mother. We love you, Mother.
Love you, Mother Tynetta.
May Allah
We love you, Mother Tynetta. You such a blessing.
love you too.
I love you, love you, love you.
God bless
you.
All right. I used to love
We
you.
love you, Mother Tynetta. Alhamdulillah.
Alaikum salam.
Love you.
All right. Look, I didn't mean to be abrasive to anyone, but I mean, my mother is really, really struggling right now, and we were almost not going to have the call this evening, but as you could hear in her voice, you know, by the grace of Allah, she got through it, and I know that so many have questions and comments and everything, and it really does take a toll, you know, after a while. And but I'm grateful to Allah that we had this opportunity, and I will be fighting to have more of them in the very, very near future, where my mother can come on and entertain questions and share from her studies. And I meant what I said. You know, I've been a big Sister Minister Ava Muhammad fan, and fan is actually a cheap term, but I just absolutely love and admire how Allah has worked with her and given her the expression that she has.
Yes.
But I would like to have her on our chat line as soon as she is able. And I will formally get in touch with her and invite her, and a few other people. You know, it's just been a wonderful, wonderful chat line. I know there's many who had questions. I don't know if I can entertain the ones you had for my mother at this time, but to continue under this theme of music, medicine, music, color, and medicine, which is the essence, as Dr. Elijah Muhammad said, of the true religion of Allah. Then we can continue a little bit now, dialogue, if you would. I'd like to make a statement, a couple of statements from what my mother shared. Much of what I share with you is out of daily conversations that we have. Again, as I said in the beginning, based on our recollection of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, both publicly and sometimes some things that he only said in a domestic setting or environment. And what caught me so much, of course, being a musician myself, but thinking of that in terms of it being the essence of the true religion, as he put it, of Allah. Religion now means more so the activity of God in the universe. And when you hear my mother talk about crystal or crystal power, there's crystal elements, or the essence of that crystal is in the sun itself. It's in the water. It's in the blood. It's in us. And then you tie that into the engineering of the pyramids, which is made from a limestone material. And in the limestone material you will find, if you do your research, is crystal. And so here now, crystal as an element is used as a means by which energy, light, information even, is transmitted. I said earlier in the call how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took my brother and I into the kitchen and put a glass of water on the counter. I must have been about 6, my brother about 7, and he told us to look in the water and to tell him what we saw. And at first, I didn't see anything. Then he asked again, and I only saw the colors, but I think it was just the reflection of the colors of objects or things that were behind the glass of water on the counter. But in retrospect, it was like he was looking to see either who had the gift or ability to see into water, into crystal, into the glass. And I wish my brother were on the line, Abdullah Yassin Muhammad, because he was able to do that at a younger age. And I was able to do that at a certain point, not then, but as I got a little older. And so I know the kind of power, if you would. Power only means capacity to see through mediums like crystals and water and other elements. It's a quite complex but yet extraordinarily powerful reality if we begin to study nature, study creation from a scientific perspective. And I think that is really where and what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted us to go in our study. In fact, while we were here in Mexico, he was always teaching from a scientific standpoint, not a religious, rhetoric kind of speaking or teaching, but it was scientific, whether it was regarding the weather, the climate, how to control it, ants, bugs, centipedes, animals. This was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that I became somewhat acquainted with, if you would. And I think that is where his teaching is really attempting to bring us to a level where we would begin to look at things from a scientific standpoint, not the rhetoric, the religious rhetoric hoopla that I think many of us get too deep in, and then we can't find our way out of it, and we just cause arguments with others as opposed to inviting them into deeper study of the wisdom that they may already have. So, music, color, medicine. Medicine, again, means substance or substances used in order to treat illness or sickness. So, the greatest substance that we know of in the entire universe that is used to treat illness as a medicine is love. Love, which the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said is not just a feeling or an intense like or an emotion, but love is a creative force. And when the Bible or the scriptures talk about God is love, well, an emotion alone is not what created the universe, but it is a creative force of thought. It's a science. It's a process. It's an expression. It's life. So, along those lines, to get right to more questions and answers, some of you may have already had questions that you wanted to pose. And even though my mother is not on the line right now, if I can't answer in a qualitative way, whatever your question might be, I will get it to her immediately and bring back an answer for you in our next chat talk.
Brother Rasul?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Sister Najma. I wanted to mute the line again because there are some interferences, and if you can hit *6, and if anyone after that wants to pose a question so that there wouldn't be any interferences after that.
Okay. Well, we can unmute them so that we can, or they can unmute now if they
Right,
want to pose.
Yes, sir, I'm going to mute the line again, and then you just hit *6.
I hit it?
Yes, after I mute it.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. You have to unmute if you want to be heard.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
This is Sister Amina in California. How are you, dear brother?
Hey, my dear sister, how are you?
I'm very well. Our praises due to Allah. I just want to say I have no question, but what an awesome evening. Mother Tynetta, Sister Ava, yourself, Allah, your God. It's been awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, bless you. And, you know, I need to say, you know, I listened to the playback from our show last week, and what you were sharing was absolutely off the chain. I really enjoyed and appreciated what you had to share with us about mathematics and the combination with colors. And, I mean, I just thought it was awesome, you know. So thank you for the spirit you always bring to this line.
Well, thank you. I can't take full credit. I have to give some to my beautiful daughter who lives in Hawaii and communicates with Mom and gives me